So starting with you would need to find your axis of symmetry using your negative b over 2a.
Do we do this in our calculator?
You can do some of it in your calculator, but you have to do it by hand.
Okay, show us what you can do in the calculator.
Well, after this, yeah. So you have to do your negative b over 2a. So this would be negative 4 over 2 times negative 1. X equals 2. And then you would have to show that you put 2 in, but you don't actually have to solve this algebraically. You have to show me that. And then you would put this into y equals negative x plus 4 minus 4. What was it?
Plus 4.
Okay. And then go into your table, second,
Oh,
grab.
yeah, the second 4 is minus.
And then your y value when x is 2 is 0. That would be your vertex. And then you would fill out your table. Either you can fill out your x's now or look at your table, either or. Go forwards, 3, 4, 5, backwards, 1, 0, negative 1, and fill out your values from the group. Equals, put it in, second table. Put it in. Normal, y equals, the equation exactly as is, second graph, put it in. So your values would be negative 9, negative 4, negative 1.
Do you have to put another place to see this? And that's the only place.
What's your point?
I have a question. So, for negative 4x over 2, negative 1, where did the square go?
So this is A, your negative 1. This is B, your positive 4. Then you would find your domain. Your domain is not going to change for any of these, but all the numbers will be negative. Range lowest to highest, so that would be negative infinity to 0. The zeros would be wherever it crosses your x-axis. So here we have 2. Put that as it over here. If it doesn't line up, you have 2 different ways to go about finding zeros using the PolySmelt2 app or your second trace values. Zeros, not values. So you can use either of those to find your zeros if it doesn't line up or if they're not exact numbers. The other one I just mentioned was an apps, but I might this one. And then put in your coefficients and you can do that.
But the second trace is just from where we kind of
The second trace would be just finding your zeros on your actual graph itself. And you'd have to do this, find a left bound, find a right bound. For this one, it was on the x-axis, so it doesn't really matter if you count it. But if I couldn't see that, I could pick something to the left and something to the right. The depth should be 2. Yes.
I have a question. I mean, solving. So I do everything for x. have a solution. So then we just put it into the calculator.
Solution for what?
The y equals.
The zero? That was talking about the zero.
The y equals -2 squared plus. You just put it in the calculator y equals.
You could do that to solve it algebraically, or you could just put this in your calculator and look at your table. Or it'll give you the same thing. The zero would be the answer you get here. So either or. So this into this, but we didn't actually solve it. To recognize how we would have done it algebraically.
Is the domain usually always
Yes, it's all real numbers.
I should get the range.
Looks lowest to highest. It keeps going to negative infinity. It stops at zero. Set builder notation.
They always be negative.
That was asked the answer. Y is less than or equal to zero. Either or. Other questions on 5? Any other questions on the review? Ma'am?
Oh, could you remember one? Well, like, could you, like what kind of is that one? What the domain and range
It's always all the numbers. Range you have to look at that, so that would help you with the middle one. Did you want to see the axis of symmetry and vertex? Sure.
Like, I figured it out, it's 5 negative 3, so it would be 0.
It's not as much for zero.
Okay, well, I figured it out on my own, and I wanted to know what I did the.
So zeros would be where we're supposed to be exactly. So you can put it in your graph and look. Use, if it's not on an exact number, so like at an exact answer, you can use one of the two things I said earlier.
And then if it doesn't cross the x-axis at all, you just put like.
No solution. Another hand. This one? Yeah. We need to get everything on the same side. These are not like terms, so we are not combining them, just rewriting. When you do this, it should still be equal to 0. That is the whole point of this, to solve it. How could we factor this? 2 is part of the DCF, we're missing something 2x. If we divide out 2x, what's left? Then you have two factors that cannot be factored anymore. Set both pieces equal to 0 and solve. This one, you could go right into your answer and say 0 because you have to divide. The other one you would need to solve, actually show this work. And then make sure you write your final answers for these in curly brackets. So 0, 5 eighths. For this one, it gives you your length and width. It tells you your area is 42. We have x plus 8 and x minus 3 equals 42. Ignore the below. Because this is not equal to 0, you need to distribute and then move 42 over. So x squared minus 3x plus 8x minus 24. Combine your like terms. And move 42 over. Then you would need two factors. So you're looking for two numbers that multiply to be negative 66, but add to be 5.
Oh, I'm gonna do negative 6.
So with this, go straight into your factors. X plus 11, x minus 6. Set both equal to 0. From here, you don't have to actually solve them because it would just be the opposite. So you can say 11 and 6. 11 and 6. But if you need to actually solve it, that's fine also.
All of those, you just
You just set it equal to 0, show me that you know how to do it, and then you can just skip this. Your equation, just looking at your graph. 15. For this one, because this is set equal to 0, you would set both. And then add your solution. Yes, if this is equal to 0. If it's not, then you would need to. With a question like this, I would say some of these you could look at and see. Others, I would graph each of these and see which ones are. And I'm not going to graph it. Or if you have a question like this, put each one into. You could eliminate some, like these two. Your solutions have to be positive 1 and negative 5. So this one will not work because that, if we solve that, they're not to be negative 5. This one would. The others you have to check.
Is it longer?
General.
What is it? But can you have all the traits, right? Or like, what are the different? Hopefully you move up now,
26 on this page.
do you have to show you the algebraically solving all those equations?
Solving by factoring, yes.
For the one where it's,
Hold up. You will be given a sheet that has the steps. Do you still want me to go through the steps?
oh, no.
For this one, ask your question again, Susan.
Do you have to show you all the algebraically solving all of the other equations besides
For
you
this one, if you had a question like this, you would put each one into the graph and match it. And then say, I use the graphing calculator. But if it says solve by factoring, I should see work. Bella. 7 on which page? This one. This is similar, but it doesn't give you the graph. So I would say put each of these in and see which ones match. Because only one is going to match. Because it says equivalent to, they have to line up. I'm not going to do that because it would take too much time to put all of these in. But you could do that. Just put each one into y equals, see which one matches.
you just do figure out the math, just do y equals 1 equation and the other equation.
if they overlap, if they don't, they don't. Other questions?
How do you put x squared between that?
In y equals,
Yeah.
if x is squared, x is squared. Yes. Next alpha.
Can you show some,
Next one.
can you show some of those graph questions, like how to calculate instead of like, so let's ask,
You're not gonna get one like that. You're gonna get a formula sheet with that. Do you still want to go Stat. Go into edit, put in your data, go back into stat, scroll over to calculate, go to number 5. Make sure you store this alpha trace in whichever one you want. And then calculate, it's gonna give me an error that everybody's doing. And then after you get that, one way you can either put in a number, store it as x, hit enter, go back and grab your equation from alpha trace. It'll solve that.
Will this all be on the formula sheet?
Or hit second trace, go to value, and put in the number you're looking for. And it'll solve it for you. Bella? Which one? Yes. So the same thing as solutions, x-intercepts. So if it has roots -2 and 3, it has to cross the x-axis at -2 and 3. It is asking which of these.
So what would you?
Solutions, x-intercepts. Any other questions?
I finished the equations of graph afterwards.
I don't know what.
To y equals, or what, where it's like. It's supposed to like a graph.
I would say grab this one and grab this one. Two of them are gonna overlap, not all of them are. So, 16 on the second page, my second page, that's not your second page, so. You don't have this one? This one? Yeah. Put the X out. That's a ignore. Was, yes. But, really, you can just put 0 into X. You have to find your next value when Y is 0. Savannah? This is very similar to the one we did before, so I'll set this up, but I won't completely solve it. Here,
You need to rewrite this, if x minus 4, x minus 4 equals 9.
you need to distribute.
Combine like
Terms and then move by and then back. Factor and then find your answers. Other questions? Y equals is already there. But
The graph.
any other questions?
So after that,
Most of them,